Hello,
Hello.
everybody.
Hi, hi.
Happy now. Now we're back. We're back.
hmm We're back, we're back. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Coco,
And
Coco
yes,
Loco.
Coco Loco wants to, it was thinking some time back about all this, our own personal power that we need to take back or need to activate. Maybe we never had it. I think it's a little weird sometimes when people say, take your power back. I even use it myself on my sites.
Yeah.
But then I've been thinking sometimes, well, some people will think, well, I never had my power. I never
Yeah.
really had it,
How can I
which is
take
maybe
something
true.
back I didn't have in
Yeah,
the first place?
yeah. And I don't even know what it is and what it feels like and so on, which is true. For many, some can remember when they were kids, maybe feeling powerful and strong until their parents told them no enough times so they stopped feeling their own power. But anyway, my point was that it was regarding like t- today I'm going to touch about with pets and health because
Pets
of
and
course
health.
my yeah, because the thing is when our pets get sick or injured, what is the first thing we do? We
Go to
think
the
about,
vet.
oh shoot, I need to get a vet. I need to find a vet. And where's my vet? Do I have one? Is it a
Yeah.
good one? And so on. The second thought they usually get is, ka-ching. Oh shoot, this is gonna cost me.
Yeah.
Normally that just follows the next thought, in the line. And especially if it's a weekend, it's difficult to get a vet. You have to go to the vet hospital normally,
Yeah.
and it will cost a gazillion extra because it's weekend. Okay,
It costs a little gajillion.
it does. And then my thought was one day, because I had these different experience with my own pets, um, that we have to maybe start thinking, wait a minute, before I call the pet, what can I do? Can I actually do something myself? Is there somebody I can ask? Is there something I can Google or DuckDuckGo, or is there something before I panic and go to the vet? Of course, if it's something like a car accident, or yeah, okay. But like if it's smaller things like an allergic reaction, a wound,
Or
a bite,
dehydration. Yeah.
yeah, or throwing up, or diarrhea, whatever, or just not eating, or it could be, then you could actually, we have to start learning to check ourselves, check the animal ourselves, look at
Yeah.
it and then examine it ourselves. And then you call somebody if you know somebody that knows anything about health for humans as well, because it's the same. Many of the things actually can be treated the same way. Um, if you have nobody in your network or your family, which of course many don't because we become so disconnected. We rely on the vet and the doctors, which means we no longer know anybody in the family that actually knows how to heal or make teas or whatever. So when you've done that, you don't have anybody. Hopefully you do. And if you don't have anybody, start finding them. Start
Yeah.
finding, joining groups on Facebook for holistic treatment of pets. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Homeopathic treatment, natural treatment supplements. And you actually slowly learn a lot because even though your pet's not, there's nothing wrong with your pet, you will get some posts sometime from a group saying, oh, my cat got this or my dog got that. What do I do? What do you do? And
Yeah.
you will learn things by just seeing these posts. Oh, I use Kaleido Silver, which is like the best for anything. So you gotta get that, by the way. Have some of that. Make your own or buy it, because it kind of fixes almost anything with a pet. Anything from eye infection, ear infections, wounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in general, it's just good to put in their water because it's antibacterial and it will keep cleaning them up. Okay. So when you now just found out you know nobody that knows anything I can help you, then you know that you must next day start finding these people so you have it in your network. Okay, and then you go on Google and then you search natural remedies for XYZ, natural
Yeah.
remedies for wound healing or natural remedies for this and that. And you scroll around, and what I do is I read like maybe three articles, not from the top. I take the ones in the middle or bottom because that's usually the legit ones, not sponsored and all this stuff. And if I can see like you know, something that overlaps, where they more say the same, then I believe that's what I'm gonna do. And then you ask yourself, is this good for me to do for my pet?
Yeah.
And then you ask your pet. See, this is what I believe we have to start doing, the communication and our intuition, activating that again, that we can feel in our gut. Yes, this actually feels good. I will make this tea, or I will give whatever it may be, Kaleido Silver in the eye. Really? Can you drop it in the eye? And if you're insecure, you go online and you check in these groups, and you will feel safe to know, okay, yes, I can actually drop Kaleido Silver in the eye for an eye infection. It will not do any damage. And then you start doing this, you will get stronger in your sense of your sovereign way of being, your power will come back. And I'm not taking responsibility for doing this on my pet to see if it works, and the best belief that it does. And in many, many cases, it does.
Yeah.
And you didn't stress the pet by taking it to the vet. You didn't stress your wallet or yourself by taking it to the vet. And the vet is like the doctors. I'm not saying they're evil, but they are also in a system that is set up to not cure. It's
Yeah.
not, it gets things, cost you a lot. They give you this crappy diet. Usually it's cribble. Cribble, we know, men know not by now, that it's actually set up to make, I'm sorry to say, and people will hate me, to make our pets sick, you
Yeah.
know. And people
Right.
give the
Yeah.
kibble
In any
because,
way to keep them coming back, to create
yes, to keep it
new
coming back. Yeah, yeah.
deficient,
It's just a loop. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
create
loop.
new
Yeah, yeah.
deficiencies, create
Yeah,
new
exactly.
dependencies, stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And of course, as I said, it's not to diss any vets to say they're evil and they're in this plan and they
No,
know they
no,
make
but
it
it's like with
worse.
regular medicine when they give you stuff
Yeah,
and that
yeah,
stuff has side effects, and then you need
yeah,
to take other stuff to deal
yeah,
with the side effects and so on and so on.
yeah.
Yeah.
As I spoke to a friend of mine the other day that's on medication, and the doctor, the only thing the doctor said now was gonna put up dosage, because the medication was not working. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, but do you think the doctor thinks about how you're feeling when the doctor goes home tonight? No. So, do you then understand why the medication maybe is not the solution? You're getting
Stay
it from a
closer to the
person,
mic.
yeah, you're getting it from a person that does not think about you as a human,
Yeah, yeah,
forgets all about you as soon as you leave the office,
yeah.
which means the holistic or the human attitude towards this treatment is disconnected.
It
Yeah.
has no focus. Yeah, yeah.
No, exactly,
On
exactly.
the human or the
Yeah,
living factor.
exactly,
That is
exactly.
true. That I
So,
just wanted to go in, to recap that we actually last year you had like an incident, right? Was that dehydration? I don't even remember what it was when you called
yeah, yeah,
and
true.
your
Yeah, yeah,
dog
where I
Kiki
have, yeah,
was sick, and we
my
talked
dog
about
was
this
sick.
already back then, and we actually
Mm,
came up with a plan back then where you sort of like ordered then like a basic homeopathic emergency kit, we could call it, right?
mm,
For the
mm, mm.
basic things that can happen,
Yeah,
like infections
yeah,
and stuff like
yeah,
that, or
yeah.
dehydration or whatever it is. So that's like a good thing to always have on you, and then actually to make a plan for like these. Keep a little notebook where you like to write the things down that actually worked, so that when you are hit by an emergency, that you have something to go to, which
Mm,
always
mm,
takes, like, because the first reaction often when people are in an emergency situation is like they run around like headless chickens. Like,
mm, mm. Yeah,
what
yeah,
am I going to do?
exactly. The
What am I
panic.
going to
So
do?
yeah, exactly. So number one is to
Yeah,
like exactly go make your coffee and
yeah,
take some deep breaths, and so
yeah,
you can be rational. I mean, so you can think just like
yeah,
me. I have to, even though I have all these things and devices and so on, my program is still, I still have stuff left, like something happens, the first thought, oh, I take the responsibility and I put it out. Okay, I gotta find a vet, and it's
yeah,
Sunday. It's never gonna happen on this island, which was the case that time. That was a Friday afternoon, I believe, where all the vets leave to set, for their villages.
yeah,
So they're out with their families, and it's just impossible. And I panicked too because I was all alone on the beach with the dog,
Yeah.
and what was it to do? And
Yeah.
then it's again, the point is to remember that we can survive a lot of things humans can too.
Yeah.
If we get balance, if we breathe,
Yeah.
and get, grounded a bit so we can focus and actually feel, no, I actually really need some apple juice. Okay, that's the C vitamins or something, the feelings so that we can start feeling
Yeah.
again what would be good for me now.
Yeah.
You're supposed to know yourself the best, not the doctor. Doesn't
Exactly.
don't know you. But we're so disconnected. So there's this habit again of asking also when it comes to humans and when we get out of balance, which is called disease in the doctor's world, that ask yourself why.
Yeah.
Keep asking why do I have asthma? Why? Until one day, hopefully, you get so good at it and you get connected again, and your emotion will tell you why.
Yeah.
Which emotion did you ignore that starts screaming and coming out as asthma? You
I
know?
can I just get back to what you said before
Yeah.
because I think that needs a little in depth. When you said and
Mm-hmm.
the first thing, ask yourself. The second thing, ask your pet. Like
Mm.
so what, how was it that you do that?
You ask it verbally or in your head. The
Okay.
animals communicate with us. We know that, and we just can't hear it and understand it. They can read us, as when many say, just like you see a dog whisperer, a horse whisperer, or a tiger whisperer, or whatever. There's amazing people out there that are still connected with this way of communicating between animals and humans
Yeah.
and can find out what it is and what trauma the animal has and so on. So you can also connect some more with your animal before it gets sick, by the way. Start today. Start looking it in the eye. Start trying to understand what pictures it's sending you, because it can read your pictures. This is why you always know. This is why the dog always knows when you're coming home before you know it yourself. Or
Yeah.
this is why the dog, does things sometimes when people are puzzled. That's because they've read your mind. They know where you're going when you're going to the toilet and why and
Yeah.
whatnot. Like they know when you're sad, right? Even though
Yeah.
you're not crying yet,
Yeah.
they know.
I
Yeah,
had
so
that.
they
I had
know.
that
Yeah.
when there was a very very argument prone time in the home, and
Mm-hmm.
and every time when we would talk quietly, then the dog would come and sit in the sofa, and just
Mm-hmm.
as if it was like, let's say, 10 seconds before all hell would break loose, the dog would leave. It would know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh crap! Now shit's coming
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Yeah.
argue.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, that's
Exactly. So we should exercise that, and and this is why actually started this talk was talking about pets, even though I would prefer to talk about human health, because sometimes it's easier for us to understand the thing about pets. It's easier to maybe take the responsibility of our pets' lives than take the responsibility of our own lives, really, or health. So when you start asking your pet why and you see it works, at some point you will start asking yourself, why am I sick?
yeah,
Why am I taking these pills? Why? So yeah, so you start with looking in your pet's eyes more often and connecting with it because it wants it. It's just you or us that's always over the place doing all kinds of other things and just putting it on a leash, taking it for a walk. But actually really sitting with it and connecting with it
yeah,
and asking it how it feels or if everything's okay or if it would prefer this and that. Because I do it with my, pets now. I do it. I talk also when other dogs are coming or down the street and I road. I prepare, for the situation. And every time I've done it, it's a bigger success. And every time I'm like, it's just being mindful, really, being there
yeah,
instead of being on a phone. I see many people out walking with their dogs still on the street in Denmark, and they're walking with their phone in one hand and a leash in the other. They're
yeah,
not there. And the dog is like a kids, just like kids and humans. They feel it. They're
yeah,
not, don't feel important or valued. Just doing your chores and down the street walking the dog. Um, I'm not supposed to be like that. And this
mm,
is also why animals get sick,
yeah,
I would say. I mean, I'm saying it very extreme. I know that. But you know me by now. Have
mm,
to take a little of this, chip off some of that. But
No, but
Just
no,
like
no,
this,
no,
I
no,
read.
no, no. I actually don't think. I think
Uh,
we've gotten so desensitized and so used to it, to not
mm,
being here fully, that,
mm,
I mean, I can see it whenever I get shocked by the, when it gives you the up and up on your last week's time you spent on the phone for it.
mm,
It's
mm, mm,
it's always a shock. It's
mm,
always a
mm.
shock that
Yeah,
that thing is so much more a part of
yeah,
everyday
yeah,
consumption than you think,
yeah.
and I think that it has clearly impaired all forms of communication, all forms of presence, all forms of
Mm,
interaction, far more to a far greater extent, and been
yeah,
completely destructive.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Totally,
I mean, it
totally.
says everything that what's the guy Steve Jobs, that he said, I will never give my kids this shit.
Oh, oh,
He
so
sent them
true.
to
And you,
these schools, like, what was it called, Montessori or something, right?
yeah,
Where
yeah,
they'd learn to rely on themselves and on their
yeah,
faculties and stuff like that. I mean, that says everything, right?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel it, I'm not that bad. I think I have days where I do it a lot, and then I say it, I do it a lot. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, today I'm going to bench and check out all new videos about this topic or about cayenne pepper or whatever. And I nerd. I call it research, but it is what it is. Because I write
yeah,
down, I take notes, and I learn new things. Anyway,
yeah.
and sometimes I take it and I get it in my bed in the morning, not first thing, but it's never in my bedroom. But
But
go
that
out
is
and I
that
get
is
it.
at least consciously choosing it, right? I mean, there's a
Oh, yeah, yeah,
difference.
yeah, yeah.
There's a difference,
Yeah, yeah,
because
it's true.
there are many people,
Yeah,
when they walk around, they just, I mean, they can barely
yeah, yeah. They just
put
take
the
it.
phone
Yeah,
down cross
yeah.
the road.
I'm sorry.
And and
So
uh,
my point
and
was,
the
yeah.
classical thing with I remember, when I have a car, so it's seldom that I take the train. But when I took the train for once, I actually really suddenly, I got all nostalgic about it and really enjoyed it, taking the window seat, not having to, watch the traffic or anything.
Mm,
Then I took a look around, and there was not one person with me. They were all
no, no.
looking into their phones. Not There was not one
Yeah,
other
yeah.
person looking out the
Mm,
window taking in the scenery. It's crazy.
no. Yeah, but we clearly, it's just that's just the way it is. I don't think that's gonna change really.
Mm,
It's not getting better because people kind of almost forgot how to be social.
yeah,
Even though a lot of places are starting these new places, cafes where you can't bring a phone, you
yeah,
read and write or knit or whatever. But my point is, as I don't have small kids anymore, so sometimes when I take it into bed, because I'm gonna lay and read something or look at something, I actually hate reading on the phone. I know it's super bad for my eyes too, so I don't
yeah,
like it. I don't like
yeah.
books at all. But something, and my pet will be in the bed and crawl up to me, and I will actually. It's so funny. I will hide the phone because she's like, she's kind of narrowing it out in my face. And I know it's not good. And it's so funny. Just like, she's like, oh, I got you. You're on your phone. And when I'm on my phone, I'm not looking at her, and she wants the attention. So I put
Yeah.
the phone away and I hide it. But it's also kind of embarrassing that I'm hiding the phone from
From your dog.
myself, really, because she reminds me, actually, even though I'm not on it that much, that what the hell are you doing? It's Sunday morning and you're on your phone, you know?
Yeah.
It's funny that she can make me feel like that. Like, okay, I'll put it away.
Crazy.
Terrible. Terrible. So
Oh
okay,
yeah.
so back to the thing is take the power back. Start asking yourself, why is this happening to me? Why? Not you never did anything wrong, not that we did something wrong or bad. But as Will Steiner also said that I learned many, many, many years ago, when our pets get sick, it's something to do with the family. If you're one person or 10 in your family, doesn't matter. It has something to do with the family.
Yeah.
It does not get sick by itself. So, which you can learn to analyze or find out, okay, so why, and it can just be fleas attack again and again, whatever. Why is this happening?
Mm.
You know, flea attacks, what is that? It's just like lice, so it is
Yeah.
because you didn't do the job right or whatever, didn't clean right or you didn't, treat right or whatever, deep enough or thorough enough, or so on. So it's very interesting when we start looking like that because you also become more powerful and instantly when you start using your own intuition, you start looking inwards instead of looking out to the doctor all the time.
Yeah.
You know, you like it's like I don't know, almost find it embarrassing in some state that we're so become so weak and dependent that every time we feel something, we have to call some
Yeah.
authority.
But
What? You know, what happened?
I must say that my experience, just my experience with doctors and stuff like that throughout many years have have made me delve into homeopathy.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of the time when I'd go there, say for example when I had uh, had the flu or whatever it was, and I went to see the doctor with it, and then all he would do was to say, "Oh, it's a virus, nothing to be done," and I just go home, get some
Yeah,
rest. And
yeah,
I would be like,
yeah.
"Okay, why did I walk all the way down here just to hear him say that?" And I don't even like the guy. So what the
No,
hell is
no.
this? This
Yeah,
this was
yeah,
pointless.
yeah. Yeah, this is why you should, and then you should, the next question would be, why did I do it? Not him, not that he's pointless
Yeah,
because
yeah,
he's
yeah,
doing his job, but why did you actually
yeah,
take the time to go
exactly.
to something knowing that there's a very small chance that he could actually help you with anything
Yeah,
that you couldn't help yourself with,
yeah,
you know? So this is again, start asking everybody, start the listeners to this, ask yourself why.
yeah,
Why am I feeling like this? And you know the answer. Usually we do. We know why we're stressed or can't sleep, right? We
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Then the next question is, of course, what can I do?
yeah,
And will I do it? That's also the point, Of course, it's everybody wants a quick fix, right?
yeah.
So will I actually stop drinking wine every night to fall asleep because I can't
For
sleep because I'm
example, yeah,
worried and stressed and so on? This
yeah.
lovely loop people get into.
Yeah, the
Will I actually do it?
self-medication. Oh God, yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
And I remember also I had a friend of mine, yoga teacher, she was like I have so much work to do. I have so many yoga lessons that I so I actually had to force myself to take a sleeping pill. And I was like, are
Exactly.
you
Yeah,
insane?
yeah,
How would
yeah,
that
yeah,
help
yeah, yeah,
your
yeah,
yoga
yeah,
lesson the
yeah, yeah.
next day? That doesn't help in any way.
Exactly. No,
It's like
no,
that's like crazy.
no. And that's the next topic we could take because what happens when you take a pill like that? Okay,
Yeah.
fine, you may sleep, but your frequency, the frequency of that pill that enters your body, and the frequency your body becomes, is the one you're going to send out next day to the class,
Yeah.
which is a lower frequency, you know. And
Yeah.
it's quite crazy how much this actually affects. We affect each other without
Exactly.
knowing it. Yeah. So yeah. That could be another good topic about the frequencies again of everything we're taking into our body and looking
Yeah.
at and listening to and so on.
I think we
It's all
should call
really
that
interesting.
episode that episode when we do that we should call it the problem with quick fixes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That would be
exactly.
nice.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so take back the power or find your power. What is power for you? What is power for you?
Yeah.
Find out, ask yourself, what is power actually? Mm. As a wise person once said, if you don't own the roof over your head, if you don't have your own water, and if you do not have your own food, which means producing, you are a slave,
Yeah.
which means most people are, right?
Yeah.
Really, because you rely on something or somebody else that's not even your friends necessarily. Yeah.
That
So,
certainly isn't your friend, actually. Yeah.
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 Okay.
That
Good,
was
good.
a very positive note to leave it on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just because this works for me, it will make me
Yeah.
think, hot dang, what? I gotta fix that. My
Yeah.
God, I don't
Yeah.
just
Yeah, but that's how
get
you
from.
think.
Yeah, I know.
Some of our listeners might leave this one crying, but don't worry. We'll leave you. Just check out another Coco tape that will pick you up again.
Okay,
All
bye.
right. Okay. We'll
Yeah,
see you on
see
the
ya.
next one. Remember to like,
Yeah,
subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Keep it civil.
yes,
And
yeah,
yeah, feel free to
yeah. Okay.
suggest some topics. So, and
Mm-hmm.
thank you, Coco.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk
Well,
again
thank you
soon.
too. Yes.
Ciao,
Ciao.
ciao.
Toodaloo. Ciao.